So, hello, fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 64554633728. And trying to be funny. My first stand-up comedy performance experience. I'm gonna go into that in a second. But of course, I'm Earthling, yada yada yada. And I've lost 85 pounds from the heaviest that I ever was. I have gotten a lot of muscles. I'm able to do a lot more exercises than I used to be able to. As a kid, I quit smoking. I have a computer science degree, MBA, stuff like that. Anyway, my first stand-up experience trying to be funny. This was not actually at a stand-up, an open mic or anything like that. I guess it kind of was, but it was a come anybody, do anything, let's see what happens kind of thing. So it wasn't specifically like open mic comedy kind of thing. Anyway, a long time ago, I had seen a documentary or an interview with Seinfeld, and he was talking about using a calendar to make sure that you practiced your comedy every single day, and basically having the visual of seeing those cross marks on the calendar and seeing that none of the spaces were blank and the satisfaction that it gave you and all that other stuff. So I started collecting things that I thought were funny to put them together every day, and I was just getting more and more stuff, and I thought, I have too much stuff. It would be really good to have an outlet. So when I saw this thing, I don't know if somebody showed it to me or what, I can't recall. But when I saw the opportunity, I was like, yeah, let me try that. So I talked to the person in charge, and they said, okay, you have 10 minutes. And then I got some other thing from them that said, you have 5 minutes, no, you have 10, no, you have 6. It was confusing. They didn't really know what they were doing, or at least to explain, I guess it was two different people. Anyway, my routine, it kept changing as I was hearing information from the people. So I just had something on a piece of paper to remind me of what my jokes were about. And so I got up on there, and honest to goodness, I have to tell you, I thought everything that I had would just get tumultuous laughter. I just thought that was what was going to happen. And when I went early the day, and I told the people there, they wanted to see what I was doing before I got up on stage. The girl that I spoke to, she seemed to laugh at the stuff that I was saying. So I thought, okay, yeah, this is going to be good. It did not really work out like that. It didn't. It's not to say that there was not a single laugh anywhere, but it was nothing like what I was seeing on YouTube or in comedy specials. And I guess, to be honest, it was a little bit frustrating, because when I compared the jokes that the people on YouTube were doing to what I was doing, I was like, but it's the same kind of jokes that they're doing, or it's like kind of like obvious. It was obvious stuff that I might not even laugh at, some of the stuff that I was seeing, and they were getting gales and gales of laughter. I think, is that the term? Gales of laughter. So I was like, I don't know what this is about, really. I can't really tell, because there wasn't any specific thing that I could point to say that's the reason why, that's the reason why, that's the reason why. But anyway, so I went back a couple more times afterwards, and the second time that I went, I didn't know if I was allowed to do a comedy thing again. So I didn't prepare a comedy thing. I just prepared a kind of a poetry thing. I had it on my phone. I was just going to read it out because other people came and they were reading stuff out. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. But when I went before the show, and I was telling somebody there that I didn't have a comedy thing, the girl again that was there, she was like, but I thought you were going to do comedy. Of course you can do comedy again. You can do whatever it is that you want. It's up to you. So I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I came with this kind of a spoken word thing. So anyway, so I got up on stage, but my phone didn't have like a lot of charge on it, so I had my phone turned off. And while it takes a long time to turn on my phone, and it seems like this, what I'm saying, it doesn't matter. It's like, what are you talking about? But listen, so I'm taking my time. Well, I'm not taking my time. I would love my phone to just power on, and that'd be it. And I would say my thing and get off the stage. But it's taken such a long time to turn on that, you know, somebody, maybe a girl who's in charge of the thing, she's like, well, sing a song. So I'm like, okay, fine. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb. And I sing Mary Had a Little Lamb. And she's like, I can't believe you actually sang Mary Had a Little Lamb. And you would think that that would be enough time for my phone to turn on, but it didn't. So I thought, you know what? Let me just tell a story about people coming and stealing stuff from my yard. So I started telling the story of people coming and stealing stuff from my yard. And it was so weird that all of a sudden I hit a point, what I didn't think was particularly funny, but poof, all of the laughter that I had been expecting on the previous time, suddenly there it was, out of the blue. I don't know where the hell it came from. The exact amount of laughter that I had been expecting for all my other jokes was here in me telling a story, I guess, that had an absurd turn or twist in it. And I was kind of like shocked. I was taken aback. I was like, what? This is not what I was expecting. And then I'm like, well, you know, you guys think that I'm joking, but about the thing that I had said. And they proceeded to laugh even more when I said that. But here was my phone, it had turned on, and I was like, whoa, what am I learning from this experience? What am I grasping from this thing? If anything, it was that what I might think is funny clearly was not exactly funny, and what I might think is serious was getting a lot more laughter than I thought it would. So anyway, I went into my poetry kind of thing, and I said my thing, got some, you know, round of applause, whatever, and I got off. And so I went back again, but I don't know that I had learned anything from that second incident. And but anyway, so I came back with other jokes, and I thought, well, this is the first time that I'd gone on. The guy was like, listen, you need to move around the stage, you need to do this and that and whatever. And I, you know, that this is just one of the other people who were hosting this show. It's like, yeah, you need to move around the stage. Now, first and second time, I wasn't moving anywhere. The first time, I just forgot everything that he told me, and I was just trying to concentrate on remembering my jokes. And the second time, I was just reading poetry. There's no need for me to walk back and forth on the stage if I'm just coming to read a bit of stuff on my phone. So the third time, anyway, I decided, okay, I'm going to walk back and forth on the stage. And I don't know, let me think about this. Yeah, I can't say that I got more laughs than the first time, but I think that what I do recall was giving a story. I had a story, more of a story than I had on the first occasion, less than on the second occasion where I was just gonna, you know, making up time. And the third time, so I have a couple of stories where I'm telling this is what happened to me, and I know a little bit about learning how to communicate with girls, for example. I went into that. But I guess what I learned from the third time, well, similar to what I learned from the first time, was that the places that got the most laughs were not the places that I was expecting to get laughs. The places that I got the most laughs were like, it's just a very, very short ad lib here or there, or stress on a thing. For example, I think I was talking about Kino, which is something that is a thing in the pickup department. And I would have said, like, Kino, where you're basically making sure that you have physical contact with the other person. You touch their arm or their shoulder when you say something in order to get their attention. If both of you are laughing, maybe like a girl would do, you would touch the person's shoulder, whatever it is. And I was like, trust me, you'll thank me for this later. And that got a laugh. And I was like, what? That wasn't exactly supposed to be funny. And then there was this other part where I was saying, this is back when I used to girls used to like me. And at least I think they used to like me. And that got a laugh too. And I was like, but that's not the punchline. And when I got to the punchline, my punchline that I thought was the funny part, nothing. Just absolutely nothing. And I was like, wow, okay. So, maybe this is like the stock market. Maybe I should do the opposite of anything that I think is funny is not going to be funny, and anything that I think is not going to be funny might be funny. It's silly. But I kind of get what I hear comedians talking about, which is that, or even I see what happens. I remember I saw Dave Chappelle when he went on Saturday Night Live again, and even the best of us, he gave a joke, he looked at the audience like, hey, this is the funny bit, and not a single laugh I could hear. And he realized, okay, well, I just got a laugh 30 seconds ago, this one, 0. And you could see this is him trying out stuff, but he was trying out stuff in front of millions of people. And now that I thought was funny, amusing, but obviously the joke didn't work. But it made me feel better that, hey, the exact same thing happens to Dave Chappelle in front of millions of people on TV, live TV and YouTube and whatever else. So I shouldn't feel so bad about it. And yeah, I guess if I ever have the opportunity again, because this was pre, what is it, the time before? Yeah, all of this stuff was during the time just before, if we can say that. So now in the time after, whenever it is that we get over this, who knows if we will. Clearly we are. But yeah, I have an idea, especially from saying this, from repeating it. It gives me a clue as to what to try the next time I have the opportunity to try something. And to know that where I think people should be laughing, they might not laugh. And they throw away points. And I've heard other people say this, and I realize it. And there's a little bit more to it. One, when you're not getting the laughs, go a little bit slower. Because that's one of the things that the first time I was like, I have to get all my jokes, as many jokes as I can, into this thing. But the second time, I was like, yeah, but if you don't give enough background, that's probably why this joke was not funny. Because you didn't give enough lead into it for people to understand why you did this, or you did that, or you did the other. And the second time that I performed, I was just making up time. So I was, I guess, telling more of the story. So when it came to this part that was a little bit twisted, people laughed because they understood, they could like relate to what I was saying. And then I guess my story about having people steal stuff from your yard is relatable. So yeah, so that's me. I think that you should go out and try your own comedy. I would really love to hear about your first time if you all did it. And feel free to like, subscribe, dislike, share, look at more of my stuff. Any of those things that you'd like for someone to do if this were your stuff. Have a good one. Peace.